Warning, the following stunts are done by trained professionals. Actually, we're not trained. Robbie is just a dumbass and decided to do a drunken fantasy football podcast. The thoughts, opinions, and takes are ours and ours only. It is not our fault if you lose in fantasy football or sports gambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
Let's get ready to rumble. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday night. This is how we do it. It's Friday night, and I feel all right. The party's here on the rum side. Yo, we have an action-packed show. We have to figure out a way to free Myles Garrett. Max Crosby broke my heart, but then Deebo Samuel also sewed it all back together. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rumboyz After Dark. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Shop GLD. Get like me, get your GLD. Link is down below in the description, shopgld.com. Hey, yo, let's get it. Let's play that commercial.
Hop out in Miami when I'm landing, got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, or turn me on, you can't understand. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Shop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no one zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good bring away your knowledge.
And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, drop the mic.
I got 5 on it.
Grab
Let's
your
go.
phone. Let's get key. I got 5 on it. Messing with that Indoie.
You went with Montel. You went with Montel. I had to throw it back.
Throw it back. Exactly. Throw it back to some Louise. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is brought to you by GLD, shopgld.com. Like you saw on the commercial previously, go get your GLD at shopgld.com. Just like me, ice yourself out this spring and summer. All right, don't be a bummer. Also, I'm just going to preemptively kind of like throw this out there. Go check out oddschecker.com. I'm not going to say anything else after that. Just go to oddschecker.com. Why? Because oddschecker.com gives you the best place to check your odds on any and all sports and any and all games throughout any and given single which day. Go check out oddschecker.com. That's all I'm going to say. Hey, like how I did that? Like how I just like kind of like I cook. Like I cook right there. Mike, we got a lot we got to talk about, bro. How you feeling first?
Friday, I literally walked in the door at 5:58, got on at 6:01, and I am ready to roll.
Ready to roll. All right, let's go. Let's go. Hey, speaking of ready to roll, you already know how we got to do. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the wrong boys and girls, what it do. We always start you off at the top of the hour with a fresh shot. Let's make it hot. Woo.
Yeah, wussy. Right out of the bottle. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And it wasn't because of you, but I'll show you anyway. From the state of
that's Colorado.
Colorado.
That's Colorado all day. Let's get into tonight's show, man. Everyone wanted me to go live earlier during the week, and I should have, but I was busy. I was at work. Life was crazy.
Yeah, in the
Deebo
NFL.
Samuel traded to the Washington Commanders in exchange to the San Francisco 49ers for a 5th-round pick. I am hearing every single fucking narrative from he is washed. I'm getting sent memes of Drewski in a fucking Commanders jersey. What are your thoughts? Drop the mic.
Holy shit. That was my thought. Holy shit. Deebo directly to Washington for a 5th-round pick. I think we need to bring that up because I'm sick of the people saying, oh, the compensation was low, blah, blah. He did this to the team. Him saying that he was unhappy dictate when you give permission to a player to go get their own deal, you've already capped your limit. He only has 1 year left on the deal. Not saying he's going to leave Washington or anything like that, but with only 1 year left on the deal, you're not going to get a lot for him. So a 5th-round pick is what it is. The out of shape thing, it's the offseason. I don't care. He'll get in shape. But
all right. So So first off, starting with the out of shape thing. If any other team excluding us, out of all 31 teams, had have gotten the opportunity to go at Deebo, there were no ifs, ands, or buts as to whether or not he would have elevated that fucking team.
I would have taken him.
If the Kansas City Chiefs, who just made it to a fucking Super Bowl, if the Philadelphia Eagles, who just won a Super Bowl, had acquired Deebo Samuel, we would not be saying shit. Now, I understand that there are those underneath the hive mind that are like, well, the Commanders already made it to the NFC Championship. Adding this piece makes them more dynamic and they can go and do some shit. You damn fucking right it does. It does. On record, it really does.
All right. Well,
who has had to coach against this man 2 times a year when he was an Arizona fucking Cardinal head coach, knows how he can utilize Deebo to complement Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin, who's the highest contested rated catch receiver in the whole National Football League. Ladies and gentlemen, the Washington Commanders are about to cook. Ladies and gentlemen, we are leading tonight's show with letting you know the Washington Commanders are about to be on some shit.
Well, that was my point. This helps Jaden. Don't get me wrong. However, you've already brought it up, but you know where I'm going with this.
Mike, do you really think that Dan Quinn is going to let Deebo be out of shape?
No. But what?
And then for the injury prone narrative, if I get 13 games out of Deebo, and if 8 games out of that he's 100%, please let 2 of them be against divisional opponents.
Okay, so
let 3 of them be against divisional opponents.
The person this affects the most is not Jaden Daniels. The person you brought it, but the person this affects the most is our boy, my boy, your boy, Scary Terry. This affects Scary Terry the most because now you're not going to be able to double team Scary all the time.
You open up the screen. Now you open up the screen.
Yeah, you open up the routes.
Now you get the ability to where even if you go and get an Amari Hampton in the first round, if you're the Commanders, you now eliminate the ability to run everything through the run game because I can still jet sweep this motherfucker at any given point that I want to. For a fifth, and if I get this man in shape, not if, when I get this man in shape, I can do whatever I want. It's a Diddy party for the NFC East.
The other thing that's being downplayed, and I'm not going to go as far as you because I do think this helps them, but I don't think what?
This is what people try and argue.
Okay, he's going to do something. I don't think he's going to turn into a top 10 wide receiver again. That's not what I don't think that. And I don't think you're saying that.
Garrett. We're going to hang on.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Garrett in a second. And I think you'll agree that. I don't think he's going to turn into like a top 10 wide receiver. But The other thing that we haven't brought up, me and you talked about off camera, not tonight, but when this first went down, and I do think it needs to be brought up. Let's talk about that. I disagree. Yeah. I don't think we can downplay the factor of Peters in this. With Peters being in Frisco before, if Peters was afraid of any of this notion going on,
if Peters was afraid, he would have, with his connections to San Fran, he would have went Ayukin. Ayukin.
Yeah, Debo would not be a Commander if Peters thought any of this was going to happen. But I don't expect him to turn to his 2021 peak. But the problem is, I don't think Washington needs him to turn into 2021 peak. And for turning into a fifth for one single year, that's fine.
When you have Jaden Daniels, you don't need Debo. When we talk about Debo specifically, you don't need Debo to be peak Debo.
No.
You really don't. If anything, Debo might last longer. I'm sorry. I'm a big Brock Purdy fan. I'm a huge Brock Purdy fan.
Unfortunately, he's not lying.
Jaden, what if you thought Debo was nasty with Glock Purdy? I don't think that we've seen Debo unlocked. If you thought Debo was nasty in a Shanahan offense, I don't. Because now what are you gonna do? How do you protect Jaden? How do you protect Terry? How do you protect Debo? Right now, Diami is still on the roster. He's gonna be gone probably, but Diami is still on the roster. You now have to worry about that deep threat. Oh fuck! Brian Robinson's still on the roster. Austin Eckler's still on the roster. Austin Eckler who can catch passes out the backfield, just like Debo. Brian Robinson, who he's probably getting washed at this point, but will still hit between the tackles. This shit has became scary hours. It's scary hours in the NFC East. It's scary hours. The Eagles' defense is crumbling, which we're going to talk about. I think that was a big get the ring, get out. Shit's wild right now. It's scary hours in the NFC East. We're approaching free agency frenzy. This whole episode is based off free agency frenzy. Mike?
I think we pretty much said everything about this one. Let's move to the next. Let's move to the big one today.
We did have a big one today. This is fresh off the press. Ladies and gentlemen, Geno Smith is looking at I don't know if I want to say necessarily long-term, a decent term, a long-term extension with the Raiders. The Raiders never had a quarterback. The Raiders have tried the veteran bridge thing. It didn't work. Also, we all knew all along they never had the right guy. Mike, you're part of that division. Your team is losing offensive line pieces.
They're coming back. Don't worry.
How does this affect the Raiders? Are you looking at the Raiders as competition, being a part of that division?
Not yet. But don't get me wrong. This makes them better. That's not where I'm going with that. I'm not saying they suck. That's not what I'm saying. Third round pick, 1 year left on his contract. Yes, you brought up the fact that he's gonna get money, 40, 50. But the problem is 40, 50 is the going rate. If Daniel Jones deserves 40 a year, Geno Smith deserves 40 a year, period. So Geno Smith going to the Raiders, I just want to say, you're welcome, Internet. I said it was him or Russ. I've been saying that since what's his name got hired. old man Carroll, that it was him or Russ going to be the quarterback of the Raiders. I do think there's more pieces at play on this offense that are going to be coming later. We knew that
when you say later, do you mean later this year or later in years to come?
There will be a player that we talk about in about 45 minutes that I think is going to end up on the Raiders. So we'll get into that this show. We knew with Pete Carroll being the old man that Pete Carroll is, that he was not going to want a rebuild. Tom Brady, the competitor that he is, was not going to want a rebuild. So this does not surprise me that they go this way. We'll talk about the draft at later weeks to see what they do there. They do need to upgrade the wide receiver position. They still need an upgraded offensive line, but Geno Smith does help this team. This drastically shows that Seattle is going downhill. See what they do. There's rumors about Darnold. There's rumors about Fields. We'll see what happens later. We'll talk about that when we talk about speculation. But on the surface,
This interesting. The Seahawks get better if they get Darnold, or if they get Darnold or Sammy Sosa Darnold.
Who's Sammy Sosa?
He's saying Sam Darnold.
Oh, okay.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
By the way, you're frozen.
I'm frozen.
Yep.
All right. Well, you get to cook for like 2 seconds.
All right. So I think they're gonna have to revamp their running back position. They're gonna have to revamp the wide receiver position, because I don't think that I know that Jacoby Myers is not a WR1. The one person that I have not brought up yet that this is going to help a lot, and he was very, 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 very good, especially for fantasy purposes last year. This is going to help Brock freaking Bowers out a lot with a veteran like Geno Smith. This helps him. This helps the wide receiver core.
It's going to help Brock Bowers out. It's going to help if they bring in a top wide receiver, whether that's through the draft or through free agency,
which we'll discuss.
The Raiders are interesting right now because them getting this done early, honestly, it makes them more of a competitor in that division than what we may realize.
Oh, no,
the Raiders, if they have the right talent at skill positions, and they already have Brock Bowers, like we talked about, can really make a fucking push. Geno just has to manage games. With the way that the Kansas City Chiefs have been becoming depleted, especially on the front end. Joe Tooney going to the Rams.
Bears.
Or Bears, I'm sorry. Bears. Sorry, I apologize.
No, I just want to make sure we got it right.
Thank you. No, thank you. Tooney leaving, going to the Bears. Shit's getting shaken up in that division. We saw it last year, and we thought that it was going to happen last year, that maybe last year was the chance that a team in that division could break the concrete, be the phoenix of which a rose grew through the ashes, grow through the cracks of the concrete. I think we're standing on that now. I'm not saying that the Raiders are going to win that division by any means.
Could they have
the Broncos were damn good last year.
Could they have
the Broncos have a chance at fucking Evan Ingram right now, and they needed a tight end, and they've always needed a tight end. I'm saying the Chargers could look towards a receiver that we're going to talk about later that has a diva problem that we interviewed. I think y'all are cooked. I think this year y'all are cooked.
Do you think we could have all four teams in the playoffs?
No.
Okay.
No. I could see you still there.
But I'm saying, do you think all three teams, the other three, all four could have the playoffs?
I think that Travis Kelce rides off into the sunset with a division win at best.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of time for that to talk about that.
Y'all need to figure some shit out. I think
We're going to free agency hasn't even started yet.
I think that everyone has figured out that you guys peaked. And I think that was it.
We'll see. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying we'll see. I need to see the roster, is what I'm saying. I need to see what's fixed with the roster.
It's not that I'm glazing Geno Smith. I think that the Raiders can competently, if they do this right, if Davis shuts up and lets Tom Brady cook, Harbaugh on his second year with the Chargers.
We'll see. I'm not disagreeing with this. I'm not disagreeing with the Harbaugh talk.
The Broncos with what they already did last year. Last year wasn't. If I'm the Broncos, I'm sitting back and I'm like, I'm licking my chops. I'm like, Evan Ingram, what's up? Evan Ingram was really bragging good. Like, what's up? Like, come on over here. If I'm really the Broncos, that's who I'm really going after.
I don't think they do. I don't think they. We'll talk about.
I think the Broncos do. I think the Broncos know they need a tight end. I think the Broncos know that Evan Ingram could damage y'all across the fucking middle. You're losing pieces on the defensive side as well. I think this is a chance for you guys to either in second or third in your division and someone to brand new emerge. And God forbid the Broncos get a tight end. God forbid the Chargers find out a second wide receiver.
I think they're going to go. I think they're going to go get a tight end.
Chargers, like we said last week.
I think they get a tight end.
There's some shit happening, just like the NFC East. Y'all got some shit happening as well in the AFC.
Oh, yeah.
The AFC West. It's cooking. It's brewing. An ass whooping is coming down the ladder.
Speaking of ass whoopings, let's talk about it. Let's talk about some NFC North ass whoopings that need to be happening.
Talk.
Myles Garrett wants to have a talk with the freaking owner, Jimmy Haslam of the Cleveland Browns.
Wait. Cook, I'm not doing this without.
I'm just introing it for you. So Jimmy Haslam, owner of the Clevelands, denies a meeting with Myles Garrett and tells Myles Garrett, if you want to talk to someone, go talk to the GM. It's your star player. It's your star player should be able to talk to the owner. Period. I'll say that. But Robbie, why are the Browns holding him hostage to his contract, and what the hell should they do?
Mike, do you want to sing with me really quick? Can we have karaoke?
But I need to know what song I'm karaokeing.
We're going to take it to Motown.
Oh, Lord.
Na, 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 na.
Nah.
All right. Hold on. We're going to start from the top. Because this, I want to preface this. We are singing this. If Cleveland sticks true to these hostage negotiations that are happening with Myles Garrett. Mike, are you ready?
No, but go.
Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Hey. Goodbye. If Myles Garrett stays with the Cleveland Browns, we are literally looking at probably the greatest player at that position. Easily top 10. Easily top 10.
I'll give you that.
Easily top 10. To not get his just due. To go and compete for a Super Bowl ring. This is preposterous. This is egregious. This is the most outlandish. I cannot stomach what is happening to Myles Garrett right now, my brother. Mike, I've ran a show with you for 4 years, three and a half years.
3.5.
This and T. Higgins, and I'm going to put them in the same breath. I'm going to put them in the same tape. It is the most disrespectful, the most unethical parading around of talent that you have hostage negotiation scenario.
Will you elaborate why do you think this is a hostage situation?
Because Myles has given all he can to Cleveland. T has given all he can to Cincy. I would prefer if T got paid, if he were to stay in Cincy. If not, let him do T. Let T do T. T, I want to talk to you. I want to sit down and I want to have new studio coming next week. I want to sit down and I want to talk. Myles, I declare the same message as well. This shit does not make sense. You know where your organization is at. You know the state. You know the history. You walk the halls, so you know what is pasted on the walls. Bars. I want to know from both of you, specifically out of anyone else in the league outside of Trey Hendrickson. And that's a different fucking story on a different landscape, I feel.
100%.
How do you feel? Because I feel like mentally if I'm either of these guys right now, if I'm Myles, if I'm T, I hurt for you right now. Myles, you want to get out of a poverty-ridden organization and at least have a chance to go and get a ring, which you wholeheartedly deserve. T, you did everything that you could, but at a certain point for your specific talent base, you need to go and get paid. And get paid handsomely. We're dealing with two different sides of the ball with two different players in the same state with two different organizations that are very known for not putting out dollars. And I am sorry for the both of them. As someone that always sides with the player, pay them, please.
All right, so I'm going to stick to Garrett. I am not as up in arms about it as you, but I think it is asinine for an owner to not even be willing. If you're going to be an owner of a franchise, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Jerry. I don't care if it's Tepper. I don't care if it's Jeffrey Lurie, if it's the Hunts. I don't care if it's Magic Johnson and Josh Harris. And the reason I bring all those people up is I went from the low to the top of the top, right? I don't care who it is. If your star player, the quarterback, the running back, Chubb is a face of the franchise, but Garrett is the star of that team. And I'm not saying he is this person. That's not what I'm saying. But is there any way ever that if LeBron was to knock on Jeannie Buss's door, that she wouldn't even have a discussion with him? Wouldn't even say, hey, let's have a meeting?
No.
A star player should be able to talk to the owner. And if it's like, hey, I'm busy for 2 days, let's talk. But to literally tell them, I will not meet with you. You have to go talk to the GM. That proves that you don't give a shit. That proves that that you don't care if he's on your franchise. And yes, that's why I believe they should trade him. Just get rid of him. Not get rid of him, but they should oblige and just trade him now, sooner than later.
Mike.
And if Garrett doesn't get traded and Garrett does do what he's saying that he's going to do and he's going to sit out, this is one of the first times you're going to hear me say this because this doesn't happen often with me, and you know this. Good for you, sit out.
Okay. So, Tree's bringing this up in Twitch. I have been messaged this. I've been messaged this on Instagram and Facebook or Meta, whatever the fuck we're calling it, multiple times. Are we on the precipice of this? Are we on the precipice of both situations with Higgins and Garrett being a Nico Harris type of deal?
What do you mean?
What I mean, like someone's gonna blow the organization. Someone's gonna fuck up.
But the problem is Nico is the GM. What I'm saying is this is the owner. This is different. This is the owner not willing to talk. This ain't the GM making a deal. If this was the GM doing this and then making a shit deal, getting rid of him.
Haslam said talk to the GM.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you shouldn't have to talk when it's something like this. It's not. He wanted to talk to him about everything going on. It wasn't like he was going in there to try to talk like, hey, 3rd round, 4th round, like that. What I'm saying is you should be able to talk to the owner.
Do you think that Miles gets what he deserves? And me personally, I feel like gets what he deserves is a new team, a new landscape, a new contract.
Here's the problem. I don't think it happens like we think it should, because just like the Debo situation, because it was handled bad. Let me say what I'm going to say, and you'll understand what I mean. Debo did it to the team. Haslam is doing it to his own team. I'm not saying Garrett's doing it to the team and making them get a bad deal, but Haslam is going to end up tanking Garrett's value because he's handling the situation so shitty. Because no one's gonna be willing to give Haslam what he wants because Haslam's the one that's effing this whole thing up. No one's gonna want to deal with the Browns.
Do you feel like the Browns set themselves back by not figuring out a way to even move up in the draft and utilize Myles Garrett to get that done, or even like just hanging on to him so selfishly? Like I don't think this helps them.
No, and I don't think moving up in the draft has anything to do with it because they're a top 3 pick. I think this purely has to do with helping them as a franchise, and I honestly think, not to bring bad crap up or bring stuff that's not really on topic up, this whole thing with Haslam did not start with Myles Garrett requesting a trade. This started the day that you made that deal for Deshaun Watson, and the shit show of a deal it was.
And I agree, and they just restructured Deshaun Watson's deal,
which is fine. But I'm just saying, when they made the original deal and gave him all that guaranteed money and all that was a crap deal, that's where it began.
I think they need to do right by Garrett.
I think they need to. I just don't know if they do.
Do you think that we're saying this from just like a fan standpoint? Like, is there maybe a side of this that we need to be looking at the owners?
I think we're learning that. I'll put it this way because we've talked about it multiple times lately. We might be learning that Jerry Jones isn't the worst owner in the league.
And maybe neither was Schneider. Like, to be honest, like this is bad. This is egregious.
Schneider was bad in different ways.
Absolutely. I'm gonna move on from Myles Garrett. We did touch on T. Higgins in that same breath as well. Do you have anything you want to say about T. Higgins?
No, I don't. No, I want to see things play. I want to see things play out first.
Is it fucked up or no?
No.
No, from Cincinnati standpoint?
I will. You can let me explain myself once things play out. I don't think this thing's over.
Neither do I. Okay. I feel like they're very much just disrespecting him.
I still think there's. Well, I'll say this: I think there's a chance that it's a tag to trade, and if he ends up on another team, which I think is a possibility, great.
Max Crosby.
Yes.
I want to talk about Max. Bad Max.
I don't know why you're upset about it.
Shut up. I really thought, I really thought that for like a second that Mad Max was like, I'm going to go and I'm a ring chase. I'm going to go and, play for a team that was in the playoffs.
Go to Detroit.
It could have been Detroit. It could have been us.
Could have been Detroit.
Max Crosby extended with the Raiders, and it broke my heart. It broke my heart harder than a fucking Drake song. Mike, this is your division.
All right, so let me go. All right, here we go.
Mike,
this
shit hurt.
But here's
Max
the thing.
Crosby should have been a Commander.
Here's the thing. This signing is exactly why the Geno Smith trade does not surprise me one freaking bit. Because he did not do this without the knowing. I'm not saying he knew a deal was on the way. Without the knowing and the reassurance from three people.
Yes, I did.
From three people. Pete Carroll, the GM, and Tom Brady, that this team was making moves to be better and not just to be a shitty ass team in a stadium that looks like a toilet from up above. Okay? So I think that there is Max, great. But I'm going to go bigger picture on this. He just screwed the league.
Lee straight up, you bitches didn't pay up.
He just screwed the league.
He screwed the league hardcore.
Because in the next 2 years, yes, there's another. We'll talk about someone later.
Get Garrett. Now we can get Garrett.
But here's the thing. We'll talk about this player later, please. So we'll bring him up later.
Trey?
No.
Are we talking about Trey?
Yes, he's not going to get paid a lot because he's getting old. But Joey Bosa
Trey is him.
No, I know. Joey Bosa just got cut. Trey Hendrickson's on the trade market. Aiden's going to get paid in a year and a half. Garrett wants to get paid. You got all these other players that are going to get paid. And guess what? Max Crosby just blew the number up the freaking wall to the fact that, what do we always say with quarterbacks? We said it with Lawrence, we said it with Dak, and we said it with Daniel Jones. They might not necessarily deserve that number, but they're the next in line. Well, guess what? These guys are going to say, guess what? I'm next in line.
Next in line.
And
edge rusher has become so much of a specialty over the last couple of years that, this is literally what we're staring down this.
It's going to happen.
This is what's happening before our very fucking eyes.
So for him to
honestly,
be the most
I love for Max. I love for Max. I don't want Max be like he doesn't give a fuck what I think. First off,
no. But for him to be the highest paid player,
I don't want Max to be like, these motherfuckers hating on me. Like, nah, bro. Like that, nah. I just want you to be a commander. That's all. Like that's.
I never thought he was. I didn't think it was even a. I didn't. I'll be honest.
I didn't think that he was gonna leave. I didn't think he was gonna leave.
I thought he was. I thought he could leave, but I always have told you from day one that I thought there was a better chance, even off camera. I thought there was a better chance that Miles could have been a commander.
I'm gonna be honest.
It was either Detroit or nothing.
I'm gonna keep it true. I thought that he could have left up until he said what he said this last interview about the whole like Rogers shit.
Oh.
But then with them signing Gino, I'm like, he's not going. Gino gives you a shot. Gino gives you a legitimate shot.
Yeah.
Gino can manage the game enough to win football games. So what I was going to say about Max Crosby before, that's all redacted now. Gino's probably not going to make you be on the field a whole hell of a lot. You may have to have a game or two where you have to come out and be like, defensive MVP, but Max believed in his guys. He believed in his organization. He believed in his team. So, I mean, I give him props. I didn't think he was going to do it, but he did it. He did it. He stayed.
But here, more importantly, I don't think it's Max that we got to be talking about.
How do you feel about Gino? How do you feel about Gino?
We already talked about Gino.
Yeah, we already talked about that. I mean, what else is to talk about?
But what I'm saying about Max is the reason I say we don't need to talk about Max is it's not Max. Max signing the deal, fine. You're saying that you didn't think Max would do that. I didn't think the Raiders would do this. I didn't think the Raiders would go that high.
I thought the Raiders would do it. I thought the Raiders would do it for sure.
That high? Bullshit.
Not that high.
I didn't think they were making the highest paid player.
Hear me out. It's the most Raiders shit possible.
No, it's not, because they would do the opposite. They would pay someone like freaking Adam Thielen $30 million a year for 3 years. They wouldn't pay
Let's move back on this, because they would pay a great player, and that player now suddenly duds out. Like, we don't know. Like, we really don't know.
No, we don't, but the likelihood of a 20, whatever he is, but I'm just saying, it's like, they're not doing an old guy, they're not. We'll see what they do in the draft, too, because I'm not saying first rounder, but what I'm saying is, are they going to draft someone in the third round where Mel Kiper doesn't even have video on him?
Bro needs to retire. That's her wife. What? Who needs to retire? The Raiders are on an upward trajectory right now. The Raiders are up. The Gino, the whole Gino, and then keeping Mad Max. It tells me that they have something up their sleeve.
Oh, it's not over.
On the other side of the show, we do have to talk about the Jaguars releasing Kirk. We have a lot of releases that we got to talk about.
They're trading him.
Huh?
They're trading him. They're getting a 2026 seventh round pick from Houston.
We have a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, Rumboyz After Dark. NFL season did end with the Super Bowl. We're still in full effect. Let's go.
Just stick to the plot. Just stick to the plot. Just stick to the plot. And stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the plot. And stick to the plot. And stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just get kinda funny. You stick to the bros to the riches and hope you don't crash like some dummy. To get to this money, you cut every piece of the pie to find out you sliced into an onion. Now let's change the subject. These niggas who think they got something, but actually they end up with nothing. It's getting disgusting. I'm tired of the fucking assumptions. I'm about to blow up like corruption, so stick to it. Stick to the plan. When you lose it, gotta get it again. Keep it moving, never stick in the sand. Even when tired, like Michelin Man, shit, I know I'm the man, so I don't give a damn about opinions. I'm racking up millions, you stacking up pennies. She throwing it back in the back of the venue. Now we taking off in her man and his feelings. Now back to the business. Back to the lab with my niggas. Actually back doing laps in the trenches. It's my second home. I ain't have to go visit. I stay resident, embedded to living the life of a nigga. By day we just niggas. At night we the victim. The life of go get 'em, so I'ma go get it. I stick to my plan. I still on my mission. And stick to the plot. And stick to the plot. And stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the plot. And stick to the plot. And stick to the plot. And stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. So this is my message. Sometimes you just living in life, be an actor. Don't try to direct it. Now let's change direction. This life that we live for the lesson. Don't count chickens, start counting blessings before they go missing. I promise you, I'm on a mission. I want something, I'ma go get it. No hidden intentions. I open my eyes, saw my vision. Now everyone see that I'm gifted. I'm rapping like Christmas. You niggas just under a tree. I'm smoking it, not metaphorically. I'm smoking no tree. No one's smoking no me. So when I say you're under it, no, that means me. I'm a poet MC and I'm living my dream. Hoping that hopefully you see the hope in me. And if you don't fuck me, cause I'm all I need. Keep my ear to the game and my mind to the streets. I'm a beast. Stick to the number one mission in hand. Stay true to yourself and give your life meaning. And fuck their opinions, they won't understand. To get to the top, gotta give all you got. Only getting one shot, so give up or not until your heart stops. Gotta stick to the plot. And stick to the plot. And stick to the plot. And stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the plot. And stick to the plot. And stick to the plot. And stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the
Hop out in Miami when no land, ain't got no understanding. How to hear I'm burning, or turn me on, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Talk to your D for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no one zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, go where you're not.
Hey, bro. Yeah. When is this gonna kick in?
When's what gonna kick in?
All righty, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, live here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. We have a lot of different topics that we got to talk about, so we're gonna try and Mike.
Yo,
I think we might start going rapid fire through topics. You know PTI. You know PTI.
well, yeah.
We're about to go. We're about to go Will Bond this shit.
Well, I don't know about that, but
All right, you ready?
ready.
I'm gonna throw out topics. You're gonna tell me how you feel.
Oh, okay. Global warming bullshit.
We're gonna try and keep this. I'm gonna debate back as well.
Oh, okay. Good. We get a bullshit.
But we're gonna try and keep this in order.
Yeah, right.
We are first going to start with what do you think about Evan Ingram getting released from the Jacksonville Jaguars? Could he be a Denver Bronco?
No.
No, I say yes. Cheers to me, cheers to you. All the Rumboyz girls want to do to start the second half of the show.
So here's
Start your engines.
Here's why. One, let's go straight to the actual cut. Yes, it shocked me. Yes, it surprised me. But Jaguars with the new GM, with the new head coach, I am giving them the benefit of the doubt. So I'll give them.
Or not.
I know you're not. I'm saying with the new GM, I have to give the baby face a benefit of the doubt. We'll see. Maybe he's got something up his sleeve. When it comes to Denver, because I know you brought it up earlier in the show, and I didn't say what I wanted to say because I knew you were going to bring this up. I think that they sign a cheaper, different free agent that's got a connection to Sean freaking Payton.
Wait. So Evan Ingram fitted fucking K. Dotton's scheme?
No, he's saying he didn't.
I'm not getting this tape.
He's saying that Otten was a fit for Cohen and Ingram's not.
Listen, if there's anyone that could be predicated on the tight end and that could benefit from it, it is Jacksonville. Getting rid of Evan Ingram was stupid as fuck. And I don't like Evan Ingram personally.
I know that is true. I can back you up on that.
But if Evan Ingram lands right up on his feet, which I think he will at a new location, I'm a fan.
Well, I think he will. I just don't think it's Denver yet.
I think that he's a force to be reckoned with, especially in fantasy football. In fantasy football, I'm clocking Evan Ingram right now. I think you guys could end up with Ingram.
I think because I know we're not going to bring him up because he's a lower end guy. I think Denver drafts someone later, but I think they end up with Juwan Johnson.
Denver with Juwan could be dope. I think Denver with Ingram is even better.
I just don't think it happens. That's all.
I think it's Denver to Ingram. Let's talk about Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk still sticking with the Jags because they did some shit this week. Your thoughts?
So they trade him to a
I'm just trying to
division
get
opponent.
undercover.
So they trade him to a division opponent. It's supposedly going to be his 6th round 2026 pick or 7th round 2026 pick. Basically, they just got a flyer of a pick because they were going to cut him. So I don't think it's that big of a deal cutting him for Jacksonville. I think they're still going to sign someone, draft someone.
It's not a big deal for Jacksonville. It's a big deal for whatever team lands him.
It's a big deal. No, it's Houston. It's Houston.
Because at the going rate, a team could use him as a 3.
No, it's Houston. Houston's going to use him because they lost Tank Dell.
Houston?
No, there is a trade in place. 7th round pick of 2026 for him.
I did see that. Christian Kirk, Houston, interdivision. I think I said something about that earlier on social media. I did. Okay. So Christian Kirk, Houston.
I think it's a bigger deal for them knowing that they lost. He can be their 3 perfectly with Nico being out.
Chicago building an offensive line. Your thoughts?
So Jonah Jackson from from the Rams, Joe Tooney from the Chiefs. There was rumors that they were going to try to build it up in the draft. I think they could still try to sign someone for agency. What this proves to me is something that me and you brought up last week. I think Ashton Genty is going to be the target of the Chicago Bears. And if it's not Ashton Genty, it's going to be a defensive end, possibly the guy from Texas A&M. But me and you brought up that Ben Johnson is also the same guy who let DeAndre Swift go when he was in Philly to go to Chicago. So I have a feeling, that I'm speculating. But at Genty at 10, if he is there, I would not be surprised if they keep bringing in these blockers for him for getting the veterans. They don't have to.
I'm not going to refute that. There are some on TikTok that feel like if the Cowboys get an opportunity at Genty, they're taking it 100%.
But they have to trade up ahead of them.
I still feel like they don't.
Well, yeah, but Chicago's ahead of them.
I don't think that they even should have re-signed Osa on the defensive side.
Mm-hmm.
The organization, that organization is in scramble. So yeah, I'm all in on Chicago going Genty. I'm all in on Genty falling past Dallas and going to the Chargers. I'm all in on the Chargers moving up and going to get Genty. I don't think that the Dallas Cowboys end up with Genty.
No, I don't either.
Who else do we got to talk about?
Let's talk about Trey.
Go ahead.
I don't know where the heck he's going to end up, but them will
I think Washington misses out on Garrett.
Well,
I think Washington misses out on Garrett and get Trey Hendrickson.
I think the entire league misses out on Garrett, but that's just my opinion. We will talk, Aiden. I'm telling you, they're going to screw it up, and that's why he's threatening to sit out. Aiden, we will talk about that in a sec. Henderson, I have no idea where he's going to end up. I truly don't. But they're going to end up taking the value for him again because he's going to want out, and then he's going to try to get his own trade. So don't expect the Bengals to get a lot for him. I really don't know where he's going to go. The only reason I wanted to bring him up is I thought he should have won. Me and you both brought this up. I thought he should have won the defensive MVP. Because of that, I just want this guy to go somewhere.
To the Ravens.
I just want this guy to go somewhere where he can freaking succeed.
Who, Trey?
Yes.
Or Miles?
That's all I want. No, I'm saying I want Henderson to go somewhere that he can succeed.
I think that Henderson has more control over the situation.
Yes, he does.
I think that Cincinnati's like, thank you. Whereas the Browns are like, we could thank you, but we're not going to.
One saying fuck you, the other one saying thank you.
Miles, blink twice if you want free, bro.
Okay, here we go. I'm ready to talk about one. Let me cook.
Well, we have to talk about DK.
That's the one. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
Let me cook about this one.
Rumboyz rookie, DK Metcalf.
And I'm not saying I believe he ends up with one or two teams.
The price getting brought as high as it is what? A first and a third?
First and a third. Here we go. I think he ends up with one or two teams. And one of the teams we've already discussed.
Is this based on the negotiation parameters that they set forth for Seattle Seahawks?
I don't know. I'm just going to tell you where I think he's going to end up. One, I think he could end up with Geno Smith. I think it could be another trade. He wants out. He can go with Geno, go with DK, or go with Pete. Be happy. They do not have a number one wide receiver. Could they draft Tet? Yes. Could they get DK? Yes. But the other team that DK could end up on is the team that he should have ended up on as a Rumboy rookie. Yes, I am saying he could end up being the Kansas City freaking Chief.
I don't think that anyone is predicting that.
Huh?
I don't think that anyone is predicting that.
I'm not saying anyone's predicting it. I'm throwing it out there.
Here's one thing with DK.
We do this all the time, Robbie. How many times have we ended up getting a disgruntled veteran?
Here's my thing with DK. For some reason, it's sensing. I think that Mike Tomlin is like, I'm done with George Pickens.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I need another crash out. Tomlin likes crash outs. I'm 100% convinced Tomlin likes crash outs.
I could see that.
I think that DK's a Steeler.
Okay. Aiden, I will bring up in a minute what I think about the Patriots, because there is one or two guys I think could be a Patriot, and I'll bring that up in a minute when we talk about a different player.
The Patriots are super interesting.
I think they end up with someone else.
I think the Patriots could land Devontae.
Another veteran that has to get traded.
What are you thinking?
A pasty white boy from LA.
Cup?
Yeah.
I don't see Cup being a Patriot.
If he gets traded. I don't think he gets traded now. There's part of me that doesn't know if he gets traded now.
I see Cup going to ball out for a contender.
I think if it's not the Patriots, I think it's Pitt.
I want to go back to DK.
Okay.
Chargers.
Hell no, please.
I think Evan Ingram goes to the Broncos. I think DK goes to the Chargers. I wholeheartedly believe that DK to the Chargers is a real fucking thing.
You know who I think ends up a Charger? And you're going to laugh, even though I know we've heard it on all over the internet. A retread.
For who? I'm going to give you some Ravens talk in a minute.
No, I think the Chargers get a retread back at wide receiver.
And they get a rookie?
No, a retread. They get.
What do you mean?
I think Keenan Allen becomes a Charger again. To help out QJ and to help out Ladd.
Okay, if they don't get DK, then they 100% go Keenan Allen. I will agree with that.
Okay.
And if they get Keenan Allen before like even pursuing DK, then DK is just fucked. In all honesty, I think that DK gets banished to the shadow realm.
Did you see because you brought him up another player?
All right, here's the thing with the Ravens. Really quick, because the chat brought up the Ravens. I think the Ravens focus on defense.
And O-line.
Huh?
And O-line.
O-line, yeah. Obviously because Lamar. But I don't think that I'm clocking the Ravens to.
No. I don't think they're going to make a splash. They're going to sign someone, but it's not going to be like a splash.
Not at receiver. It's not going to be a receiver. It's
No.
not. Like, I don't see DK going to. I don't see Keenan going to. I don't see Cooper Kupp going to.
DK won't go there because DK wants to go to a pass-first offense, not a run-heavy. That's the other reason I don't.
Higgins definitely not. Like, I see Jair as a corner.
Yeah.
I see Jair going to the Ravens. I 100%.
Yeah. I could see what's his name from Philly going there too.
Slay?
No, the other one.
Slay's going back to Detroit.
No, what's the other one that got let go?
Got Bradbury?
Yeah. I could see
Bradbury. I could see Bradbury being.
I'm just saying that's another type of player that we could end up in Baltimore.
No. All right. Enough people are not talking about what Landry did for fucking Tennessee. If you play an IDP, this is a scary fucking piece that can move on the chessboard.
Yep.
Where he goes,
boom.
If you're in Dynasty IDP, like I am, I'm looking at where he goes. This is scary. Tennessee, Tennessee, you mean to tell me there's a chance that if defense was going to be your whole focus, which it would have been in the Vrabel era, and I get it's a different era, but like if Tennessee, how in all these mocks that you're projected to go Abdul Carter, there's no sense in going and letting go of Landry. So here's my fucking thing. Tennessee is 100% going quarterback. Tennessee is going Cam Ward. It's Cam Ward to Tennessee. It's Cam Ward. Shador, I wanted you to go there. They're not going to give you the Steve McNair experience, bro. And I'm happy that you're not going there. Because wherever the fuck you're going to land, it's better. Now, at this point, I don't know Shador's landing spot.
I saw a mock draft that had him fall into the 20s.
To what?
The 20s.
Who put that out?
CBS.
He's not falling 20s.
I know, but I'm just saying it was out there. Is all I'm saying.
No, I don't. I'm not giving that steam.
All right.
I'm not giving that steam.
I'm going to cut you off for a second. Landry. Gonna get cut, whatever. You already
bullshit. It's bullshit.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is where's he go? You already said it where he's gonna go.
He can go wherever he wants. He can do whatever.
He's gonna go play for freaking Vrabel.
Oh, with Judon still there? Because I think Judon's running it back another year, right?
So what? The way the NFL works these days, you can put people in all over the field. You don't need to cookie cutter them.
Will Johnson, no matter where he goes, we're not going to talk about that. Will Johnson, no matter where he goes, it's a different. We're not going to do that. Oh, Judon is a Falcon. Yeah, he's a Falcon.
Yeah. Landry's going there.
I called those games. The fuck?
That's because Aiden lives in the South. He knows this.
No, Aiden's up north.
I thought he was South.
But no, like, that's one of those. That's one of those like I'm super interested about. Like Landry is one of those like I'm intrigued. That's not a name that like casuals are looking at. Like the casuals are not looking at Landry and being like, I'm gonna buy a jersey or like, you know, I'm looking for his stats. Landry is what built that Tennessee offense. If you played fantasy, you had a couple of weeks that you could have played Tennessee's defense. Tennessee was losing the game in real life. Tennessee's defense was doing something different.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Interesting shit there. Where do you want to go next? Where do you want to go next, Mike?
Is there anyone else?
All right. My thing with Bosa, chat, is that he fits so many different schemes. He can do. He's another one of those guys when we talk about the defensive edge that can do whatever he wants. How many games healthy am I going to get out of Joey Bosa?
I think he takes a discount and goes up north, stays in California, and plays with brother. And if he plays 6 or 7 games, he still gets to play with his brother, plays on the opposite side, plays third down, and calls it a career.
The Bosa brothers on the same line is nasty work. That's nasty work.
I don't like it, but I just think that's what's going to happen.
Okay, hear me out. Bosa says, I'm sorry, little brother.
Okay.
I'm going with the Steelers to be opposite of TJ Watt.
That could happen too. I think he goes where there's a stud. Let's just say that.
Shit could get wicked.
Okay. You brought it up, so I'm going to throw another one out there. Could he go to Detroit and be opposite of Aiden for like third downs only?
That's dirty.
Because I think wherever he goes, he's not going to be an every down guy, which is fine. And just,
he's just going to get his work. He's just going to collect his check and just do his work.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Allen, he got released from Washington. Where does he go?
Who effing knows?
That's like the hardest one because he can't produce.
Who knows?
Indy?
New York? Nah. I'll be honest. I have no clue. I mean, he can end up anywhere.
Speaking of Indy, can Evan Ingram end up with Indy?
Yes. And
I think it's Broncos or Indy for Evan Ingram.
And say F you to Jacksonville and sign there. All right, I got another one that I don't know if I saw this rumor this morning.
Let's get into the next one before we get into UFC.
So I saw this one this morning, and it sounds like a crazy one. Devontae Adams to the frickin' Niners. Because he's from Palo Alto.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
I don't like it because I don't think that Devontae is narrative chasing.
But is he going home?
I feel like Devontae is desperate for a playoff.
And then Frisco.
Do you think that San Fran gets back into the playoffs next year?
Better chance than half of the other teams you can sign with.
Really? Like, really?
All right, then bring him to KC.
Devontae has so much power, he can dictate a situation to where, like...
Then bring him to KC.
That ain't happening.
I'm joking. But
I mean, I'm not being a dick, but like,
hey, I'll say what I want to say about your Patriots.
Devontae can do whatever the fuck he wants. Like, honestly, at this point, as for the Patriots, I'm not predicting landing spots for your receivers.
No, Johnny.
Because here's the thing. Hear me out. Drake May can cook. There is a lore to that. There's something there.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lore
that nobody really knows. The Belichick era is really officially done. So, like, they get an opportunity to, like, start fresh, and the Patriots are really dangerous. I'm going to be on it. Like, they're not dangerous immediately, but they're that sneaky, like, if Drake May keeps going, oh, fuck, this becomes a place that people may want to go. Oh, shit, I can get paid, build it up, and be low-key, not have to deal with media.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds pretty good. The Patriots are crazy to predict right now. You know what? I'm going to have to do a video on that. I'm inspired. Mike, anything that you want to add before we get off air?
I mean, before we do UFC.
Let's do UFC. Let's just get right into UFC.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to let you lead it.
Okay. And
like UFC is
all right. Here we go.
We got Gaethje.
I got it. So I'm just going to go through a few of the big fights, and then I'll go back to my picks. Main event is Alex Pereira versus Magomedov Ankalaev. I know I screwed that up. The co-main is Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev, with Dan Hooker getting hurt. The third fight is Jalen Turner against Ignacio Bahamondes. Another fight that I want to bring up is that's our first fight going into pay-per-view is King Bobby. I know on here, King Green versus Mauricio Ruffy, and Curtis Blades is also on the card.
Nice.
Alex Morono is on the card, and so is Amanda Lemos. But for my picks,
it's a lit card, like low key.
It is a lit card. I mean, it's crazy. Okay, so Pereira is minus 118, but Ankalaev is minus 102. So it's not like Ankalaev is this plus 300, 400 underdog. I do think that Alex takes it, but I do think that Ankalaev needs to be like, if you wanted to put some money on Ankalaev with minus 102, I wouldn't that hurt, and you can shop that as well on Odds Checker and get your best odds on that and go for it.
Good job.
Justin Gaethje at plus 130, Fiziev at minus 155. That really does surprise me that it's at minus 155 for Fiziev. With the juice, I would probably take Gaethje with the juice. Turner is up and down. I'm staying away from that, even though I think it's going to be an exciting fight.
I agree.
And with King Green,
King Green is so weird.
It's weird. I don't know what I would do.
Here's the thing. You're gonna put King Green at a plus dog at what, 360?
He's
at
where you're
looking.
I'm looking at 360 with a minus 470 favorite on Mauricio.
Here's my thing: is that's one that you just stay away from. And I'm not trying to encourage 1-800 gambler if you have a problem. King Green is just one of those where it's like you could win that. I'm not gonna bet on it.
Yeah.
Because that's one of those anything that could happen. Little's really, 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 really is appetizing. Really is. Like you mentioned with Turner stepping in late, or with having a versus an opponent to step in late. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That one a little nerve wracking. I feel like I'd really throw money on Gaethje and Pereira to really handle business, and I feel like I'd only pick 2 out of the card.
Yeah.
With confidence. But also, Mike.
Yes.
You know what else is happening tomorrow?
I'm not sure.
Lakers. Celtics.
Oh, shit.
Yes, it is Ramadan. It is Ramadan as well.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay.
Who do you got? Well, I know who we both got.
Duh.
Bro, we've been cooking lately. Bro, we've been doing some dangerous, nasty
But it's on.
shit lately.
It's on the road.
It's 2C versus 2C, bro. Suns out, guns out. Suns out, guns out.
Plus 215 on the money line, plus 6.5 on the spread. Over under is 225.5. I don't give a shit about that.
Lakers on everything.
I'm
sorry. I'm gonna be it's Lakers on everything.
And I'll just say this:
the over/under is really what we need to talk about, I guess.
No, I mean it doesn't matter. But I'm gonna come back on there so I can say this. If you come talk about my son one more time, I'm gonna knock upside your head.
Bro, no. And I'm happy that LeBron check Stephen A. Stephen A, like, bro, just because you're getting paid, bro, don't mean nothing. ESPN is desperate. That's why they're paying you.
$20 million a year. Jesus Christ.
So, yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Free agency's going to start and it's going to come in a hurry.
What?
When free agency starts, everything's coming in a hurry.
Well, yeah. I'm going to be live, so, like, it's going to be.
I know what I'm saying. Yes, Lise, we know. Miko Rantner got traded twice. Got traded, and then got traded today to Dallas.
That's fault. That's honestly like.
But he got an 8-year deal. And then Marchand gets traded from Boston to freaking Florida.
Wait, what happened with Godwin?
I don't know if he gets 30. What? He ain't getting 30.
All right. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls want to do. Next week, we have a brand new studio. So, yeah. We out of here.